And welcome into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. I'm Edie Hand.
And I'm Dr. Daniel Potts, and we appreciate you all tuning back in.
And we're going to be talking about pain management. That's so important to so many people, isn't it?
Pain management, I mean, you talk about quality of life issues. If you can help somebody with pain, you're going to promote quality of life.
You know, and what I have found in the show that we're going to be doing today is about the importance of being able to take less medications, maybe through creams, and finding alternative ways to help with chronic pain. Is that a good thing, don't you think?
It's absolutely a good thing. You know, so many of my patients don't want to take more medication. Doc, don't give me another pill. and they love the idea of creams and emollients and these sorts of things, which really do work.
Well, I think that Tim Aaron is one of the founders of pain management, and everyone's going to enjoy meeting him because as a pharmacist, and he likes to say he's just a good old boy from North Alabama, but you know, it does, like we talked about before, it doesn't matter geographically where you're from, but they are in 35 different states across this country. We're talking to you out there in rural America, not only in our United States, but around the world.
Right.
And so pain is a way that we can help make life better for people, so I think this is going to be a great show.
Pain is everywhere, and we've got some help coming your way today.
Sounds good. And we'll be right back after these messages.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts. We'll be back in a moment.
If you woke up with pain this morning, you are not alone. Estimates are that nearly 1/3 of Americans will experience chronic pain at some point in their lives. Optimal Pain Control by Franklin Pharmacy works directly with your physician to create a pain cream for your unique needs. Our staff of pharmacists has over 30 years experience in compounding. OPC by Franklin Pharmacy's custom formulas are created for you to maximize pain relief while minimizing side effects. From minor aches to severe neuropathic pain, let us be your partner.
Enjoy the latest books from Edie Hand. A portion of sales benefit charities such as St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit www.ediehandfoundation.org or your local or online bookstore. Pick up your copies today. A Pocket Guide for the Alzheimer's Caregiver by Dr. Daniel Potts and his wife Ellen helps you understand this disease and get the best care possible. Go to alzpocketguide.com or any online bookstore for your copy. You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
Well, tonight we're going to be talking about optimal pain control. And that means if you're going through a difficult time in your body, we want you to learn about these new products that can help make a difference in your lifestyle. And joining me in the studio is Tim Aaron. Hey, Tim.
Hey, how are you, Edie?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you coming over this evening.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Well, what I love is this time we got some creams we can talk about when we get to it. But first of all, I'd love for people to know a little bit about you and where you live and what got you into becoming a pharmacist.
Well, I live in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Actually, I live in a place called Littleville.
I know right where that is.
A little town between Russellville and Tuscumbia. Work in Russellville. We have had a pharmacy for numerous years. Been a pharmacist for 30 years, and it's something that I have a passion for. And helping people with the creams that we're doing now is a great way to improve the quality of life of our patients.
What I loved was that when I've had a tour through your facility was that just seeing that the research that's going on with your partners and making this happen, and you're around the country. It's not just local here in Alabama. This is around the country now, isn't it?
We are, I think, currently licensed in 44 states, and it seems as if the last few months I've been in a lot of those states, and we'll leave the day after Thanksgiving to go on another trip.
Well, that's what I was telling your wife earlier before we got started. I said, I think you're sleeping fast.
Yeah, we're on the road.
Well, tell me how Optimal Pain Control came about.
I've been a compounder for about 10 years.
What's a compounder?
It's a pharmacist that actually practices pharmacy the way it was 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, where we take the actual ingredients and use a mortar and pestle, much like you do in the kitchen, and combine pharmaceutically active ingredients and put them in a unique dosage form that it's in a cream that you can rub on, and it works really well for a lot of people.
And what I love about it is that this is something out of a passion, and when you walk into your place of business, you feel this sense of family that's there. And so it's like you're working together to make a difference for their neighbor. That's what I sensed.
The sense of family and community is something that we feel strongly about. The owners, we work really hard to make that a real community inside of our building, and we try to make a difference. We eat together every day, and in fact Art later will show you how well he can cook, and that brings about a real bonding sense of togetherness with our employees, and it works really well.
I've seen that. I actually had the privilege to break bread with you guys there, and I know it works. You're telling the truth. Well, in front of us is some of the creams that are here, and let's talk a little bit about these creams. Can you enlighten me and our viewers a little bit about some of the creams? And I know they're numbered too, and then I'm going to share a little bit about my story of my experience with one of these creams.
Well, we have numerous different formulas for different kinds of pain, and each formula has a unique series of ingredients that makes it particularly effective in helping manage the symptoms of, if it's an arthritic condition or fibromyalgia or different things. It's not a cure, but it is a very effective remedy to help relieve the day-to-day pain.
When you were talking about with arthritis, like say for example this right here, I was looking at, I see the number, like this is a number 6. What does that mean if you were using a number 6?
Well,
and how would you get to use, I mean your doctor would have to prescribe it, correct?
Correct. These are prescription creams, and we were having our creams are not trade named, and so it'll just list the ketamine, baclofen, cyclobenzaprine, gabapentin, tetracaine. That's a really long series of names.
And that's easy for you to say.
And it's, actually Art had the idea to come up with just numbering them as they appear on our original script pad. And so now it's a whole lot easier just to say, well, this is formula number 6, and it's particularly good in managing the symptoms of diabetic neuropathy. And so it makes it much easier, and we use it internally to describe which cream we're talking about.
And I think that is simple, because I saw like you have like legal pads that had different information that were like a prescription, and like you say with the numbers, and you have different colors or something that I saw.
Yeah,
is that color-coded?
They're color-coded. We use red for the anti-inflammatory formulas, and blue for neuropathic formulas, and then a green color for a combination, because a lot of people, their pain may be neuropathic, like a diabetic neuropathy or TMJ or that type issue, but there's also inflammation that's occurring that's contributing to the pain, and also muscles can be affected also.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts. We'll be back in a moment.
This is Holly, or Ms. Clemente as her students call her, and they call her often because she's always there for them. No problem is too big or too small, because to Holly, you can't teach someone if you don't connect with them, and you can't connect with someone unless you truly care for them. Sometimes success starts when you go the extra mile to make sure someone else gets ahead. Virginia College, your success starts here.
Hi, I'm Sarah Evans here with friends Rollins and Kumar, who've been helping Children's of Alabama celebrate its 100th birthday. They're here for care at the Alabama Center for Childhood Cancer and Blood Disorders, the largest provider of cancer care for children and young adults in the state. At Children's, we treat every form of cancer, and we're committed to a cure. You can be too. Donate now so thousands of kids like Rollins and Kumar will celebrate lots of birthdays, including their own.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand.
And I'm Ronnie McDowell.
And I'm Georgette Jones.
Together, we'd love to ask you to support the Children's Miracle Network Children's Hospital. That's right, Edie. Your local children's hospital provides state-of-the-art care, life-saving research, and preventative education for children 24 hours a day.
And we need your support to continue helping make life better for others. Just log on to childrensmiraclenetwork.org. We believe together we can have those miracles.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
I came about this recipe about probably 40 years ago. It's an old recipe. Everybody makes chest cake. But as I looked over the recipe, I thought it calls for 18 ounces of cream cheese. And I thought, well, that's an odd number because cream cheese comes in 8-ounce and 3-ounce packs.
Right.
So I got to have 16 or 19. Do I take one off or just leave off? And I thought, I'm just going to leave off 2 ounces and make it. So I just made it with 16 ounces of cheese, box of confectionery sugar, and an egg. And I put it on my cake, and it turned out great. So I thought, well, I'm just never going to bother the other 2 ounces. So it was in 1981 when I opened the Fog Cutter, and the lady was in there, and I said, Miss Shelley, that gave me the recipe.
Oh, okay.
I said, Miss Shelley, why did you do 18 ounces of cream cheese? She said, 18 ounces? She said, oh, no, that's 1 8-ounce pack of cream cheese. So all these years, but I've learned that the 16 is much better.
And why is that?
It makes it cheesier, fluffier, and it's not as sweet. So then you can add these good toppings that I came up with this topping myself. And so we can add it, and it doesn't overpower the sugar in it.
Is this a favorite of your employees?
Just introduce them to them and it's become a favorite. And last night when I was going over the recipes again, I threw some chocolate chips in one. And so now I'm going to say, okay, chocolate chips, and I've decided to make this like a strawberry pie. And when I do my cake, we start out with...
okay, what will we start out with?
Start out with a cake mix, a stick of butter.
Real butter?
Real butter, and 1 egg, and you just mix it and lay it out in your pie pan. And then you mix up your, you come up with the 2 8 ounces of cream cheese,
okay.
2 eggs.
And that's this right here.
That's two boxes of cheese,
yeah.
2 eggs, and a box of confectionery sugar.
Okay.
You mix that good, and you lay it over your cake. Well, I put my chocolate chips.
Just a dry cake mix in
Well,
there?
no, you do the butter.
Butter and...
It makes a cake
you put
mix.
the little oil in there with
You
that?
don't have to, because what happens, if you think about it, you got a stick of butter, and the butter, cake mix, and egg, the butter furnishes enough it won't stick.
Okay. So
last night I just threw a bunch of chocolate chips on top, and then put the cream cheese. So today it was actually, that might be even better.
The better one?
Can't believe it got better, but it did. So now I've decided that if you take this topping.
Now tell us about this topping.
Topping, I use
It's smell-o-vision if y'all.
Well, what happened is I take a large pack of strawberries, and I take half of them, and I blend it.
Okay.
And I put two.
Put it in a blender. Okay.
And I put 2 spoons of jelly, just any jam or jelly, strawberry.
But you like strawberry preserves?
Well, you use strawberry preserves with the strawberries.
And blend it in a blender.
And a cup of sugar and a cup of water, and I blend all that and put it on the stove and let it bring it to a boil for about 2 minutes. So then I let it cool, and while it's cooling, I make my cake. Then I pour it over the rest of my strawberries.
Just to bake the cake, is it like 350 degrees?
350 at 45 minutes, about 45,
okay.
depending on your oven.
Okay.
But now when your strawberries, by this time you pour it over the rest of your strawberries you've hulled and prepared. So you've got the fresh strawberry topping. So last night I got to thinking, well, if you throw 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in this, it'll give you a pie consistency. So if you just layer it over your cake and then lay your cream cheese and bake it, you would have a strawberry cream cheese. So that's what I'm going to try for the employees next.
Oh, they'll
we'll let you
love
know
it.
how it turned out.
We get to try it tonight, right?
Yes, right. Okay. And I recommend the 2 8 ounces because 1 8 ounces doesn't do the trick.
And well, like you said, it doesn't make it as sweet, right?
It's sweet, but it doesn't give you as much cheese, and I love cream cheese.
Okay, now what I'd like for you to do then, if we've done that, now we're going to bring it out of the oven and bring it out, and we're going to try it with our topping.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So you bring it out.
Now this is something you really do. You do it while it's warm? We'll put it over here.
Yes. I let it cool a little.
You let it cool a little?
About 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
Then you can either pour it over the.
You just take it and pour it. Okay.
Pour the topping
here,
over.
I can. Okay.
Just pour it the other way than the camera. Probably.
There we go.
Just dump it on there good, and then you can cut it.
That is finger
Or you can
licking
either
good.
pour it on or just serve it with the strawberries. And I like to throw a little more whipping. I usually make a homemade whipped cream, but for the show tonight, I brought a can of whipped topping.
Okay, where's that at?
It's there.
Right there? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
is
we
it already
cut it.
Open? Okay.
We'll just put this on after we.
After you cut it?
After we cut it, and put it
so
on
it
each
looks
individual.
prettier too.
Well, and each individual can put as much cream as they want on it.
Okay.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts. We'll be back in a moment.
Sure, Toyota is #1 for everyone. But Scott Crump insists on more proof than just statistics. Yeah, the all-new redesigned 2012 Camry has more room, better fuel economy, and plenty more performance. And right now at Scott Crump Toyota, you too can drive the new Camry from just $199 a month. Did we mention better brakes? Visit Scott Crump Toyota in Jasper.
We'll do whatever it takes.
Enjoy the latest books from Edie Hand, a portion of sales benefit charities such as St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit www.ediehandfoundation.org or your local or online bookstore. Pick up your copies today. A Pocket Guide for the Alzheimer's Caregiver by Dr. Daniel Potts and his wife Ellen helps you understand this disease and get the best care possible. Go to alzpocketguide.com or any online bookstore for your copy.
If you woke up with pain this morning, you are not alone. Estimates are that nearly 1/3 of Americans will experience chronic pain at some point in their lives. Optimal Pain Control by Franklin Pharmacy works directly with your physician to create a pain cream for your unique needs. Our staff of pharmacists has over 30 years experience in compounding. OPC by Franklin Pharmacy's custom formulas are created for you to maximize pain relief while minimizing side effects. From minor aches to severe neuropathic pain, let us be your partner.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.
And welcome back to Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts. Joining me is a lady that knows a lot about choices and inspiring. And to add to that list, we're going to be talking about the Hope Doctor, and that's Dale Smith Thomas. Welcome, Dale.
Thank you. It's so good to be back with you.
I know. I'm excited about this segment.
I know. Don't you love the name, the Hope Doctors?
Yes. Now, where did that come from?
I'm sorry, I can't take credit for it, but you know, I speak around the world. I'm a motivational speaker, and I speak for, you know, a lot of different companies, and you never know who's going to be in your audience. Every time I step on the stage, I just say a silent prayer, just help me share the message that will really touch someone's heart, and that's just what you have to do. You're the messenger. You're not the message. And after this particular event, I'll never forget it, I got a letter from a woman. This is before people started using email a lot. And she said, your name should read Dale Smith Thomas, PhD, the Hope Doctor. She said, I came to this event, I was contemplating suicide, but after I heard your message of choices, you gave me hope and I've changed my life. And it still gives me chills right now.
It does me too.
And I started thinking about that, but what really is hope? And I came up with this definition, I guess, helping other people excel. And I love that because every single one of us can be a hope doctor every single day, everyone that's watching us right now.
Absolutely.
Smile at somebody in the grocery store. You know, people just, they walk through a room and they look down, look up, smile, you're alive.
And look, you've even started this, what, on Mondays, to get everybody pumped on Mondays. What's that about?
It's a funny story. I was speaking to a group and I said, you know, we complain about Mondays. What's the choice? Not to have Monday? And so in front of a group, I said, I'm going to start a newsletter every Monday called Motivational Monday. And every Monday, I'm going to give you some information to motivate you for your week. If you want to be on board, give me your email address. And 100 people signed up. And then I was like, oh, dang, I got to write that down.
Wow, that's right. But they motivated you to do it.
Yes, and it goes around the world now. I have thousands and thousands of people. So if you want to be a part of Motivational Monday, just go to the website, winnersbychoice.com. There's a little link. Sign up. And I write it. It's free. And I write it on Sunday nights. So it's not like a canned thing that I, you know, write weeks in advance.
Even if you've had a bad day.
Oh, yes.
You're committed.
And, you know, that's a great point. People see us with our energy and what we do for a living and think it's always easy for us. No, we have to make these choices, too. There are days I don't feel like it. I know you don't feel like it.
Honey, there are days when I've stopped and I say, I don't think I can be nice to another person.
I know. I'm going to borrow
isn't that bad?
I love that.
I had a friend of mine pass out laughing. She said, "Edie, please don't say that.
Don't say that out loud."
Now we've told it to the world.
I know, we have.
But another thing you do is being a writer, and
Yes.
this book of Solo in the Spotlight.
Right.
Where did that come from?
It's kind of my life story from growing up poor in Mississippi, and I was the girl with the low self-esteem, and I'm sure, it's a big topic these days. So many girls struggle with this. So many people struggle with it.
Yeah.
I just didn't think I had any special gifts. I could play the piano a little, I could sing a little. Don't even go there with the athletics. Have you seen my shoes? I'm not
you
good
just run
at
your
it.
mouth, baby.
I only run my mouth, that is it. And so I just felt like I was always in the shadow. I was always the runner-up. I was the girl that never got chosen. And what I realized that if we learn from those shadow experiences and like an understudy,
yes,
and then we step out, we can find our spotlights. Use those times when you don't feel like you're shining your brightest to learn and to grow and to be better. And my hope dealer in my life, and I shared this with you personally, was my piano teacher. And she was crippled in a car accident at age 11. The mother of the next door neighbor's family was killed on this little dirt road in Choctaw County, Mississippi. She was told she would probably never walk again, and then she was miraculously healed, and then went on to be Miss America in 1980.
And that was?
That was Cheryl Pruitt, Salem now. And I came to Nashville after Miss America, after she got done with Miss America, and went on the road with her. But she was my hope dealer. And so we can all be that.
What an inspiration.
I watched her live her dream. So if you're not living your dream, if you're not fulfilling what God's put you on this planet to fulfill, you know what? You may be costing someone else because they're watching you. Be their hope dealer by living your life full out.
Yes, and that's what we want to be.
Yes,
and
we
we're
want to
be
share
traveling.
and share those stories of people who have gotten a hold of hope and turned their lives around. Or maybe we'll get some stories of people who need hope, and we can, as the Hope Doctors, also help them.
I think that's a wonderful way for us to reach out into the communities. We were sharing last night about our kids. We were proud.
Yes.
My son just got a big role in a motion picture.
And my son's a race car driver, gone pro.
And you told me that story. What was that about Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey was a struggling comic in California, and he would drive up above Mulholland Drive, the Hollywood sign, and every night he would say that he was going to develop his craft and be the best. Wrote himself a check for $10 million, put it in his wallet. It said for services rendered. Would you know that just a few years later, his very first movie, guess what it paid?
$10 million.
You got it.
Well, that's what it is about, and believing in yourself and saying that. And we've instilled that in our children. We hope that we can instill that into our viewers.
Absolutely.
To know that there's hope for anyone in any situation.
Yes, absolutely.
Physically, emotionally.
Absolutely.
And I want to say this to everyone, too, before we go today, is that you have an incredible supporter in your spouse. And
He's awesome, isn't he? He's my biggest fan.
Yes, he says you're the it woman. And I love
That's
it.
because I cook Southern for him, honey.
All
He's
right,
an
baby.
Iowa boy.
Well, I love that kitchen, too. And you won't want to miss what Dale Smith-Thomas and I have to bring to you on the Hope Doctor segment, right here with Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand and Dr. Daniel Potts.